Couldn't be an easier talk today. Really quick. Let's jump right into it. It's James chapter 1, 19 and 20. With all of the conflict that we have in the world today, with politicians and the way that there's meetings with NATO and meetings with our president and other presidents and or other world leaders, and it seems like they have the meeting and then somebody goes to Twitter and starts talking about this or that, and then we have churches that are splitting and churches that are starting new churches because they got mad at somebody else, and people being fired and people being um, with all of those things going on, um, and people that should respect and love each other. And then we have, so you got the politics and you got the church politics, and then you also have the Facebook wars where somebody says something and then somebody else gets all upset and all mad and angry, and they start shooting fire back and forth, and they post and comment and comment and post, and they're always talking past each other and talking over each other. The a place to talk, the church where we gather, I lead a conversation quite a few, most weeks of the year, and on Sunday mornings from time to time, and especially in the past, there was a season when I would say something, and then somebody would ask a question and start arguing what they thought was a different idea, and then somebody would look at their own and say, um, "You're saying the exact same thing. You're just not listening to one another." Let's look at James chapter 1, verses 19 and 20. It says, "This you know, my brethren, but everyone must be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For the anger of man does not achieve the righteousness of God." I want to skip real quick to this last word, this last word that is the word anger, because that's not my main point for today. My main point in this conversation is about hearing. But if we were to skip to this word anger, the word anger is often translated wrath. In fact, you can see here that that it's translated anger 6 times, but it's translated wrath 30 times. 30 times. Most of the time, this is this idea of wrath. And as you know, I think as followers of Christ, we ought to be working towards peace, being pacifist. We believe that Jesus was the Prince of Peace. So I would say that we ought to be slow to wrath, slow to anger. But today, the point I really want to make is this. It says, "This you know, my beloved brethren, but everyone must be quick to hear." Quick to hear. The main point I would say in this text is that we should be quick to hear. And I want us to talk just for a minute about what hearing is. It's very difficult for us to listen to what someone else says and be intentional and careful enough to make sure that I'm not listening and simultaneously in the back of my mind preparing my response. It's very difficult for me to make sure that I'm listening and actually attending to and considering what has been said. It's very important that instead of preparing my response, I spend time thinking about what questions I need to ask to make sure that I am completely understanding this person, and I am perceiving the sense, the meaning, the idea, the thinking, all of what they're saying to me, and I'm not just preparing my response or my agreement or disagreement. What I'm doing as I hear is I'm slowly taking time to listen. I play basketball a lot of mornings, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 5:30 in the morning, and we don't play in the NBA. There's no shot clock. We don't, and this Sunday I'll be playing in a 30 and over league. I played in a 40 and over league a few weeks back, and about 6 months ago, I signed up for what I thought was a 30 and over league, and I showed up, and it was an 18 and up league, and we played the whole season. We did fairly okay, but most of us were up there in the 30s and 40s, and we were playing with 18-year-olds, and it wasn't what I expected. It moved a lot faster. But what I was going to say is playing basketball Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning at 5:30 in the morning, I'll catch the ball, and people have started to joke that I'll hold the ball too long. Well, I'm waiting for somebody to cut. I'm waiting for somebody to move. I'm holding the ball, and there's not any pressure on me, so I'm relaxed. I'm not rushing the play. When I coach kids, I tell them not to Carmelo, not to hold the ball too long, and so I understand that we shouldn't hold the ball too long, but at the same time, if nobody's moving, nobody's cutting, it seems inefficient to just rush the pass to somebody else standing still that's not open or not ready to play either. That slowness, that taking my time, that looking for people to move on the court, it's that kind of thing that we are so afraid of in conversation. We are so afraid in a conversation for somebody to say something and for us to just sit there and listen and think. The silence is frightening. Try it sometime. Just take some time, listen to what somebody's saying, and when they finish a sentence, take long enough to ponder what they said, to think about it, and notice that they'll say something else, or somebody else will say something else. It is so weird to our society, to our culture, to just listen and take time to hear and to attend to and to consider what has been said and to understand and perceive the sense of what's being said. But that's what James here says we should do. This you know, my beloved brethren, but everyone must be quick to hear, to listen, to attend to understand, to think through, perceive the sense of what's being said. I would encourage us in our relationships today to take serious the need to be slow to speak and quick to attend and to hear.